Keep clapping, whooping, cheering. Welcome to the stage, Nathan Virica, everybody! Keep coming, keep clapping. Here he is, here he is.
Hello, Liverpool. Hi. Always nice to be back in Liverpool. Liverpool, of course, famous throughout the world for being the birthplace of Culture Secretary Nadine Dorries. Well, I pride myself on my topical stuff, so I couldn't really get off the stage tonight without mentioning, the big story of the last month or so, which is, of course, that my laptop got broken. Had all my work on it and a lot of my new material, and I don't think there's anyone else in the world who can really appreciate what it's like to have your life turned upside down that quickly, really. But losing out on my laptop, it did give me a lot of free time to kind of think about the whole Russia-Ukraine thing. Especially with the looming threat of nuclear weapons and everything, and I was trying to find an upside to it, and I think I thought of one. Yes, people are already dying pretty horribly. Yes, the world stands on the brink of World War III, and yes, we could all be wiped out at any moment in a giant ball of fire and radiation. But if that happens, it's highly likely that there'll never be another Mrs. Brown's Boys Christmas special. Which is quite fitting if you think about it, because Mrs. Brown's Boys might be the one thing I can think of that's even less funny than the idea of humanity being wiped out in a nuclear apocalypse. In lighter news, the Queen got COVID. And I think that story kind of brought it home to a lot of people who maybe think the pandemic is over, and it certainly made me think. It made me think, is there nothing that family won't do to shift the public focus away from Prince Andrew? I don't know about any of you lot, but I'm actually sort of prepared to give Andrew the benefit of the doubt for the time being, because if you cast your minds back to when you were in primary school, there'd be loads of little girls in any given classroom who'd say that it was their dream to be romanced by a handsome prince. And I suppose it's possible that Andrew simply didn't realise that when little girls say that, they specifically mean when they grow up. So I'm a freelance writer by trade, and I've always had sort of a keen interest in history. So I've often been fascinated by things like the derivations of company names, for example. For instance, you know Hermes, right? The delivery company. Well, it turns out that's actually taken from ancient Greek mythology, and the company is named after Hermes, the Greek god of indiscriminately lobbing parcels into random people's hedges. Well, you seem to like me, so I'll finish off with a bit of a... Well, actually, it kind of raises an important point, 'cause it's sort of about charity and philanthropy, that sort of thing. A friend of mine came over for dinner the other day, and we were sat eating our dinner in front of the telly, when one of those charity appeal adverts came on. It's the usual horrendous sort of stuff, like kids with no clothes on starving, flies buzzing around their faces, drinking dirty water, that sort of thing. And my friend turned to me and he commented how he really hated it, how they seem to keep showing these adverts when people are having their tea. And I kind of thought about this for a second. I thought, they probably do that deliberately, don't they? And if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense, the contrast. Look at how much they're suffering and look at what you've got. And I, for one, am really glad that they choose to show these adverts when people are having their tea, because it's far easier for me to hide my erection when I've got a dinner tray perched on my lap. Sweet dreams, Liverpool.
Nathan Virica, everyone.